What for? What for, man? What for? What for, man? What for? What for? What for? What for? What for? I'm gonna do this. What for? This is what I do in my life. What for? I'm gonna do this. What for? Interesting, you know, Alan Watts would say, of course, what's the purpose of life? The purpose of life is simple, is to simply be alive. I don't even remember what he says, mate. But he said something like that, you know, the purpose of life is simple, it's just to be alive, right? There is no what for, there is no what for. But man, like, I've been so entrenched in the spiritual marketplace that I used to be saying all this kind of stuff as well in my videos, you know, like the purpose of life is to just be alive, just appreciate the moment. Just this moment, right? There's no purpose, you know, purpose is making you miserable. Purpose is ruining your life. There is no what for, there is just experience life now. Just being alive, you know, no purpose. Just being present, whatever. But here's the thing, man, it's like, I ain't gonna tell you something that I don't experience. Look, I can't be happy just appreciating the moment. Like, fuck. And can you know? Like, I wonder this. I really wonder this. You know, a lot of people say it, man. I go in YouTube comments, you know, I've actually turned off my YouTube comments. Other people's videos, you know, I can't see people's comments because it's a distraction. But, you know, from over the years, I've seen people comment quotes by Alan Watts and all this kind of shit. People always post a quote, you know, the Alan Watts quote. Let me just get it up, dude. People are always freaking well posting the Alan Watts quote on the purpose of life. You know, people make videos about what's the purpose of life. And this is the Alan Watts quote right here. Alan Watts says, "The meaning of life is to just be alive. It is so plain and so obvious and so simple. And yet everybody rushes around in a great panic as if it were necessary to achieve something beyond themselves." So that's what Alan Watts says. But man, here's another thing. Why are you giving up your own thinking? Why are you posting? And I'm not exactly talking to you, but you know, like, why are you posting like quotes? It's like, can you not think for yourself, man? Like, can you not? It's like if you were embodying what Alan Watts has said, you wouldn't need to go open up a new tab and copy and paste a quote by someone else. You would be able to just conjure that up in the immediate moment without even thinking about it, because if you embodied it, it would just come out of you. You know what I mean? So look, man, you know, don't put philosophers and spiritual teachers on a pedestal thinking that they got everything right, because it's like, are you thinking for yourself, man? Are you thinking for yourself? And look, is that true for you? Do you actually feel like every single moment of the day that the meaning of life and the purpose of life is to just be alive? Is to not rush about and try and achieve something beyond yourself? Or do you actually feel like there is something that you want to achieve beyond yourself? Because I feel that, man. And mate, I mean, fucking about in this spirituality for so long now, and there's still this thing going on. And maybe that's a sign that I'm spiritually retarded. And I haven't done jack shit on this path of awakening. Or maybe it's a sign where I'm just being honest with myself now. I'm just being honest, right? And I encourage you to be honest with yourself, right? Because if you're not, you end up spiritually bypassing, avoiding what's actually true for you, and using spirituality to justify it. Because there's too much fear in facing your cognitive dissonance and your whatever else, So I'm just being honest with myself these days, And to me, like, yeah, maybe at one point I will come to this conclusion that the meaning of life is just to be alive. I do have that conclusion at times, but it's not every single moment of the day, do you know what I mean? And it's like, you got to be honest with yourself. Is it every single moment of the day for you? Because to me, I keep asking this question, what for, what for, what for, what for? And I've talked about this before in previous videos, where it's like, there's all these things that feel like a side quest, but what's like the main purposeful quest? And I do truly think that play is very important, because it's play, man. It's like, wow, playing guitar, whatever else, playing with life. But I don't know, it's I don't really know, man. It's just I crave like this, like, adventurous quest. Like, I want to be part of the Fellowship in Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? Like something like purposeful, meaningful, that I can believe in. The problem is that I just don't believe in anything. I'm not convinced of anything because I can't really verify anything. If I was in Lord of the Rings and I was like, I will take the ring to Mordor. If that was me, if I was part of the Fellowship and Lord of the Rings, people be saying like, look at this, we got Mordor going on, but I would just be like thinking about solipsism. I'd be like, yeah, but I don't even know if any of this is real, I don't know if this is, like, it's like, I've only got this experience right here, right now. There's no Mordor in my experience right now. So that is the issue, really. When it's like, okay, I want to go on this purposeful quest. Well, any quest and any sense of purpose is fabricated by the mind, and it's not like inherent in reality. So I can't actually find anything that's like an objective, worthwhile purpose, because it's all subjective, and subjectivity changes all the time. here's one thing that I think is worthwhile. Eventually, I don't think it's that worthwhile anymore. So it's hard finding something that's actually, worthwhile doing. Something that's, big. Because there's all these small things that I've been doing. Small things, that were big things to me. It's just like, improving my character, really. Going to the gym consistently, talking to people consistently, being healthy consistently. Really just like being a good, healthy, functioning human being and being positive and improving mental and physical health and just trying to play more and just be a functioning human being, which again is a very worthwhile pursuit, because in this world most people aren't healthy, good, functioning, happy people. It's very interesting that we don't start off like this, that we actually have to listen, dude, isn't it fucking weird that we have all these goals? People are so invested in this area of self-improvement and personal growth. Isn't it so weird that we spend our whole lives doing that? Some people, it's just I'm getting better, it's some people spend their whole lives in this paradigm. It's just I'm getting better. It's I was so down bad, I was eating junk food, I was smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, most days. I was isolating myself, had no friends. I was binge watching movies and TV shows and YouTube. And it's they spend their whole entire life struggling with this, trying to improve, trying to get better. And that's their purpose, that's their purpose. It's fuck, dude, that's so small. And of course, when you're in the fucking trenches, it doesn't seem small, But there comes a point where it's there's not really much better you can do. What are you going to do? It's start how fucking meticulous you want to get at it. It's oh shit, I had 1 gram of sugar today. Oh no. Right, okay, well, this is my purpose, to get fully healthy. Okay, next day I got to make sure I don't have 1 gram of sugar or some shit like this. It's oh no, I had a coffee today, but I'm supposed to be quitting caffeine. It's okay, I got to really make the effort and set the intention that I don't want caffeine. It's fuck, dude, what a fucking boring small life. And look, man, if you're like this, I'm not knocking you, because this is me as well. I have the tendency to do this, and you just start to feel bad about yourself, have bad self-esteem, because this is the purpose that you've set for yourself. You know what I mean? And so it's when you get off track, it's you're getting off your purpose, what you value. It's but it shouldn't matter. We're here to live. We're not here to be fucking perfect in health, this body's decaying. Take care of it as best as you can. But it's mate, we're here to live, and you can't be perfectly healthy, have a fucking cookie, smoke a cigarette, experience life. Yeah, don't fucking overdo it. But if your spirit is in the right place, then you don't have time or even want to smoke a cigarette or eat a cookie, because it's just that's going to drag you down. Maybe there are some instances, some moments in life where it's going to bring you up, genuinely. Maybe in a social setting, someone offers you a cigarette. Maybe you have a good, meaningful conversation, smoking a cigarette with somebody. Personally, I don't fucking smoke cigarettes. They make me throw up. Actually, one time I did have a cigarette and it didn't make me throw up. But I don't fucking smoke, dude. It doesn't fucking do shit for me anyway. But you get my point, So it's very interesting. People spend their whole lives. A lot of people, trying to just be, perfect this health, self-improvement, you know, develop more and more and more. It's like, more social skills, more confidence, more whatever, dude. Like, what's the real thing, man? You know, because it's like you really don't need much to get healthy, dude. It's just stop eating shit, stop taking drugs, walk, run, drink water, brush your teeth. Like, you don't need to do much. People spend so much time, you know, and certainly I have in the past, you know, I still sometimes think that way, you know. It's like, oh shit, you know, I've splurged out on some fucking cookies. Oh no, oh no, oh no. It's like, is that really where my focus is going, dude? It's like, why am I wasting time going, oh no, I had one too many cookies? It's like, no, dude. You understanding what I'm saying? It's like, it's not important anymore. It's not important. When you've gotten to a baseline of health, indulging in something that's unhealthy once in a while, caring about that's not fucking important anymore. And yeah, again, isn't this weird that it's like, isn't it fucked up that improving yourself and your health is something that's like perceived as important and purposeful? It's like, it shouldn't be that way. Like, we should be brought up in a healthy and happy way. Like, to be healthy and happy should not be the fucking purpose, should not be the goal. It should be the foundation, you know? The foundation of life. That's the foundation. Then what do you do after that? You see, like, when I go on YouTube, you know, sometimes I uncheck, you know, hide feed because I got blockers and shit. And I see all the YouTube titles, all the video titles, and I'm probably guilty of this to some extent as well, but all like the video titles I see, it's all about this shit. It's all about this self-improvement and health. It's like, just do this and you'll be better. You'll feel better. It's like, yeah, but then what? What then? For what? For what? You know? Like, you want to stay healthy. You want to be happy and healthy for something. It's like, this is what I'm struggling with, dude. Like, okay, I'm healthy, I'm happy. Now what? What for? You know? And like, this is why people just get into addiction in the first place, because they haven't even got a what for. So it's like, it's pointless to even have the foundation of being healthy and happy, because it's like, well, it's not going to change anything, you know? It's like, healthy or not, I don't have a what for. I don't have a, you know, for what? I don't have a purpose, you know? And so, you know, getting healthy and happy becomes the purpose. And then you just run on that treadmill, run on that fucking mouse wheel, you know, of just trying to keep refining, keep bettering your health and shit, because you don't know what else to do. Even like enlightenment, you get to a point where it's like, even that feels like a foundation, you know? A lot of people put enlightenment at like the very tip top of the hierarchy of like, you know, the best thing in life. But it's like, no man, it's like a foundation. Get enlightened first, then live your life. You know? So then it's like, shit, dude. Healthy, happy, enlightened. Now what? Do you get what I mean? And, you know, perhaps it's just been devastated by the fact that there is absolutely no purpose inherent in reality that you can feel is worthwhile. So perhaps it's just grieving that. You know, it's like you're on a sinking ship in an infinite sea and there is no land anywhere. What are you gonna do? There's nothing to do, man. Like, what are you gonna do? You haven't really got much to do, have you? You know, just appreciate the views while you can. So this goes full circle on the Alan Watts quote. Perhaps he was right, man. Perhaps he was right. Life, man, it's not easy. Anyone will tell you that. No one really knows what we're doing. Seems to me that perhaps best thing to do is just huddle around your fellow shipmates, crew mates, what do you call them? You know, on this sinking ship together. And even then, perhaps we've just been programmed so deeply to believe that there's something to do, to believe that there's really something important to do, to become. And so perhaps it's so hard for us to operate without this notion that there's something to do and that there's something to become. And perhaps it's so hard to let that go, to get that out of our nervous system. And because, you know, you go out into the world and it's reinforced and promoted everywhere that you go as well. So it's just constantly around you, being reinforced and pushed. And so it's hard to stay in this environment and like recondition yourself, decondition yourself, let go of this conditioning, this programming. Because how can you know? I don't know. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. So there are some thoughts, man. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Helps me out. And come talk with us on the online community, the Truth Playground. Top link in the description. Click that link. You can connect with us. And we can all huddle around together on this sinking ship and talk about what the fuck we're gonna do. Peace, man. Peace.